All right. Welcome to the Tuesday Leadership Zoom Beyond the Ranks. My name is Krista Purdy. I completely had a brain fart there, but I have a guest on from my team today, Jenny Barber Youngblood. She joined our team in, oh my gosh, what month did you start, Jenny?
Started thriving full-time in November and
Of last.
became a promoter in January.
Okay. All right.
Late
So
January.
it feels like she's been here for a lifetime, just because she's been so integrated into our team, and her story has just been shared everywhere. So I'm just going to go through a list of questions with you, Jenny. I'm going to kind of do an interview style, which is kind of weird because we talk every single day. So but not everybody knows you. So we're going to get right into it. Jenny is the queen of customer retention. This woman goes 4K by herself every single month with her customers alone. And these are customers that are like continuing. They come back month after month because she has such passion, such fire for these products and what they've done for her life and what they've done for the lives of the people around her. She helps her customers thrive for free. Like, she is on an auto bonus elite level with her auto ship customers. So once she, hits, she's going to hit 12K soon. Then she's going to go into 40K. She's going to knock out that auto bonus elite like it's nothing. So let's start it off. What was life like before Thrive, Jenny? And what made you want to try Thrive? What was it like before?
Life was miserable. I had already lost about 130 pounds on my own, just because we have pre-diabetes in our family, and I was trying to, to stop that. So I didn't start for weight loss. I already knew I could do that without the help. But I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis and had a hysterectomy as well. And everything in my gut just stopped working the way that it's supposed to do. And I stopped being, I'm just gonna be me here and just say it. I couldn't shit. I couldn't. I would cry when I would go to the bathroom because I would be scared. Number one, that it was going to hurt. And then number two, what if I did? How was I going to tend to myself? Because my RA pain was immense. It was terrible. I couldn't use my hands for basic, normal, everyday things. So I was scared to poop and scared not to poop. And I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable. I was crying every single day. Life was unbearable. Unbearable. That's the best word, is unbearable.
So you saw Allie talking about Thrive. Were you skeptical? Did you want to try it? Did you think it was going to work?
I wasn't skeptical at all. Allie and I go way back. We go back about 4 or 5 years. So I didn't think she would lie to me, about anything. So I wasn't skeptical at all. I was it a last ditch effort? Probably, because I had run out of options, but I believed and wanted it to work really good. Her and Amanda Harbuth got together and sent me a 7-day mini experience. We talked about it for a couple of days first, back and forth, really customized, what they thought would be best for me. And it worked. And then that's just all I can say about it, is that it worked. And I'm thankful. Very thankful.
Okay, so I want you to get a little bit more into, like, all right, so you started with that 7-day sample that they customized for you. Okay, let's talk about like your first 30, 60 days, your first couple of months of thriving. Like, what products did you use and what were the results? I want you to share your true Thrive testimony right now.
So I started with that sample, and day 1, 2, 3, I felt just a little bit of extra energy. So I thought, well, there's something there, but I wasn't experiencing any really big aha moments at all. On days 1, 2, 3, and 4, really nothing. Days 5 and 6 were pretty much the same thing. And I thought, well, the energy is definitely there. Day 7, I was walking across the football field with my husband, and I looked down, and we were holding hands, and we had not held hands for about a year. because my hands hurt too bad. It hurt my hands. Rheumatoid arthritis affects hands, joints, everything like that. And we didn't hold hands like this. We hadn't held hands like that in a year. We would do that, which is uncomfortable. I hate holding hands that way. I despise it. I like to do the whole intertwined thing. And I looked down on day 7 and we were holding hands. And I was like, oh, fuck. Look, I was like, I was so excited. I cried. I tried to hide it from him because we were at a football game, big Texas football fan. So I'm in the stands and I'm texting Allie and Amanda. I'm like, you're not going to believe this. We're holding hands. I didn't even realize we were. So day 7 was, I'm a day 7 thriver, day 7 thriver. And that was my last day of samples. I was out and I thought I couldn't afford it. So I didn't order. It was the holiday seasons. I didn't order. Thanksgiving Day, I was right back to not being able to use my hands. I couldn't do something simple like open canned biscuits to make chicken and dumplings for my family for Thanksgiving. I cried in our dumplings, ruined 5 cans of biscuits as I kept dropping them. Stopped everything that I was doing, sat down at the kitchen table, and I made my very first order on Thanksgiving Day. So 30 days passed. I was like, I say I was a 7-day thriver, but then I actually ordered in November, and I was immediate then. I mean, it was like, I don't know if it was a mind connection or what, but I knew it was going to work. So it, like on day 1, when my sample came, I was already like feeling better. I was already back to going to the bathroom like I was supposed to be doing. And then I was just talking about it, like to everybody on Facebook, in person. People would say, hey, I would sit in church and I would do this, and I would just constantly rub my hands because they hurt, or I would pop my fingers because popping your fingers gives a moment of relief. Doesn't last long, but I would pop my fingers and I would stop doing that. And somebody would be like, you haven't rubbed your hands all day. And I'm like, I know, right? And then I would go
Praise
right
Jesus.
I would go right on into this big spill about how, you know what Thrive was doing for me. I see small victories every month. I've been thriving for a year now. Well, Thanksgiving will be a year. I see small victories every month. Something new like hair growth, and I'm not even taking the hair, skin, and nail vitamins. Not taking them. I've not touched them, and my hair is growing better. My skin looks better. I'm not. I will say this because you know me. I believe in full disclosure on everything. I have not lost 1 pound on Thrive. I have not 1 pound. And I get on the scale every now and then because obesity runs in my family. And I have to kind of keep a check on that, but I'm not upset about it. I'm not mad about it because that's not why I started thriving. I started thriving for other things that have nothing to do with the scale. But every month there's something like, oh, wow, that, last year I wouldn't have been able to do that. We went hiking this weekend and I was not sore the next day at all. And I have never done a hike before in my entire life, ever. I don't like to sweat. There's only one thing in this world we're sweating for, and hiking ain't it. So we were not sore at all. We were like, my husband and I both woke up the next day, and we expected to have to crawl out of the bed in our cabin, and help each other get up. And we were like, hey, we feel fine. We feel fine. And there's nothing we can attribute that to but Thrive. Nothing.
It's incredible. And see, that's why
Amazing.
I love your story so much, because Thrive helped you in where you were struggling in the quality of your life every single day, struggling so much. And I remember being in that 3-way with you guys, and you talking about holding your husband's hand, and we were all just kind of like in tears, because that's such an incredible, we get to watch people change their lives like this every single day. And because she saw these differences, she saw, the relief in her aches and pains from her RA in her hands, I should have turned my notifications off. She had such a transformation in the quality of her life. And like she said, she was sitting in church, people noticed, that she wasn't sitting there rubbing her hands, or they noticed some difference in her. And because she had such a passion in her about what these products have done for her life, she wasn't holding back to sharing about it. to talking to people about it. And that's where I have seen her success, is because she doesn't shut her mouth about Thrive. She is telling everybody about it. When she knows that somebody has a problem that Thrive can fix, she's going to tell them about it. So I want you to, like, why did you decide to promote in the first place? So you're loving Thrive, you're a customer. Why did you decide to promote?
So I was already telling everybody about it, just as a thriver and a non-promoter. I was already what, quote unquote, pushing the products because they were working so well for me, and I knew they worked. I knew that I had a lot of friends and family that would benefit from it. So I was thriving for free before I was promoting.
Okay.
So I was already, already like loud, and I would just word vomit Thrive to everybody. So one day I was like, I think it was Amanda was talking to me about becoming a promoter. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I've been a part of an MLM before and it was miserable. I hated it. They were from the devil, and I just don't want any other part of that whatsoever. And I had her and Amanda and you, I believe it was you, Amanda, and Allie, and it might have been maybe Sonia. We're like, we promise it's not like that over here. We promise. We give you our word. It is not like that over here. And if I was skeptic about anything, that was what I was skeptic about, because people tell you that crap
Right.
all the time to get you to join their teams. And I'm like, but I was like, I was talking to my husband about it. And I was like, I'm already telling people about it. I'm already,
And it's free.
I don't have to do
Free.
anything different. All I got to do is click that promoter button, because I'm already telling people how great the product is. And I might as well do it and put a little jingle in my pocket
Boom.
in the process. And so I'm just going to go for it. But I did, however, go through the policies and procedures for like a week. I went through it every day for a week.
Y'all,
And
I've never had somebody ask as many questions as Jenny, and I love it because I've been here for 4.5 years, and I have just always ran with just ignorance on fire, kind of just whatever. But I have learned so much in this last year that Jenny is
my
going to promote her,
questions,
because she asks questions about absolutely every single thing, and I love it.
I have to know everything. I have to know, why is this like this? Why is that like that? I have to understand if we got to cross the street, I want to know, why do we have to cross the street? I have to know everything. And I read it every day for a week, because my previous MLM would shoot stuff in there and surprise you and not tell you that they'd made a change. And I'm like, I'm going to read this. I'm going to re-download it once a day for a week and update it. I think it was Allie was sending me a new one each day. It's like, here, read it. And I'm like, okay, nothing's changing. So then I was like, okay, I'll hit that promoter button. And I hit that promoter button, and I've been going ever since.
Okay, so let's talk about some of that. You decided to hit the promoter button, even though that was like the one thing that you were skeptical about, right? So you hit the promoter button, you're already sharing about Thrive. Your Thrive testimony has already taken off. You're feeling so good. The quality of your life is just changing on a daily basis. Let's talk a little bit about like your accomplishments since you started promoting. What happened in the beginning?
Okay, so my 2-week VIP period was, and this is probably where I'm going to cry. During my first 2 weeks in as my VIP bonus period, my mother-in-law was actively passing away. She was sick. We didn't know what was wrong with her. We just knew that she was going downhill fast. My husband needed to be with her, of course, but he needed to take off work. And we've never been one of those kinds of families where you could just take off on a whim and not prepare for it. We have to really prepare and save up vacation days and stuff like that, because we've always been a paycheck to paycheck kind of family. Always, our whole marriage. Great provider. We've always had what we needed, but it's always been payday to payday. But he was able to take off during that 2-week period and get no paycheck whatsoever, none, because I hit those VIP bonuses. I hit them all. I hit all the VIP bonuses. And that, being able to contribute to our family when he needed to take a back seat and I needed to be in the driver's seat for a little bit, really, did we make, bukus of money? Were the VIP bonuses life changing for me? No, they weren't. They weren't life changing, but they were life sustaining
Mm,
because my husband
mm.
he needed to be with his mom. He needed to be with his siblings. And that gave me the opportunity to fill in those financial gaps while he had to take a back seat. And I will always be thankful for that because I think it would have felt really awful if he had had to work while his mom was in the bed actively passing away and not getting to be there and see her and hold her hand and pray with her. And the few moments where she was lucid and could come to and talk to us, if he had not had that time with her, I'd never be able to forgive myself. So thank you, Thrive.
See, all right, hold on. If I start crying, well, this one will be over. So this thing, we have to think about this. This is where I want to stop real quick and think about today is payday. Okay.
Right.
And I know that, I mean, we've all felt it in some way, shape, form, or fashion, held back to like talk about the opportunity. But this right here is a true testament as to why we never know what people are going through. We never know what people need. Most people are sharing their highlight reel on social media, right? So we have to be bold. We have to be loud and proud and brave and share. Because if, Allie, the person that introduced Jenny to Thrive, never would have shared these products with her, and we didn't share the opportunity with her. Like, that's a whole life-changing moment right there. You say it's not life-changing, but I mean, that's a monumental moment in your life and in his life. And that was able to sustain, like you said, it sustained for that time period. So it's just so important what we have our hands on with these products, as she's shared an incredible Thrive experience and what these products do for her day-to-day life and the quality of her life. And now she decided to promote a year ago and hit these VIP bonuses that sustained her life during a really hard time. Like, what we have our hands on is absolutely incredible and life-changing. So I just wanted to throw that in here. So because today is payday, make today the day that you share it loud and proud. And I don't care, like, if you made $5 on your paycheck today, $10, $500, if you made nothing, if you're not making a paycheck yet, that's okay, because guess what? Our opportunity is still here. Somebody still has the opportunity to come in and earn a paycheck next Tuesday. They still have the opportunity to come in and hit those VIP bonuses and have 4 months to earn rank advancement bonuses. So let's talk about that. Like, you came in and you hit 4K. How long did it take you to hit 4K? I can't remember.
It was fast.
Was it your first 30 days?
I just got my very last bonus payout this month. So there were 8 bonus payouts. So early March.
So she was able to come in and hit 4K. And during that time, we were having rank advancement bonuses. And so she earned a $4,000 bonus for her family, and she maintained that every single month. And she is somebody within my team that has probably the only person within my team that has solely been pretty much 4K on her own with customers alone, with her customers, her returning customers, new customers, and helping her customers thrive for free. So that's really what I want you to talk about today is, hold on, I got questions specifically. Okay, so you kind of already hit on that. Okay, so when you're talking to, because I want you to share like how you have such success in your customer service and your customer retention, how you're able to reach this 4K rank every single month with your personal volume, right? So how do you talk to people about Thrive? How do you talk to your customers about their goals? How do you tailor their Thrive experiences so well that like they are continuing to return? And how are you helping them want to stay with you and with Lavelle?
So there's really just like 3 things. My first thing is I'm just bold. I just I don't hold a whole lot back. I've had some messages and some talks with you a time or two where I've just been like, look, I'm not happy about this. I'm upset about this or whatever, and I'm like that with people in life. Um, I'm me. I'm who I am. People are either on board with bold word vomit Jenny, or they're not. And if they're not, that's okay. They're welcome, to go find somebody else to go do that. My feelings don't get hurt because I'm comfortable with who I am. And that's why, I tell my personally enrolled promoters is just be who you are. You don't try to mimic somebody else. Just be who you are, because there's going to be enough people out there who resonate with your personality and your character and your quirks and all that. So that's my number one thing is I just want to be who I am. That's just, I think I was raised that way, so just be who you are. And then my two biggest things are support chats and following up with your customers. I have some customers who refuse to do support chats. They're not as faithful customers as the ones who have gotten into a support chat with me and somebody else. I can talk to somebody one-on-one and they can tell me, I can ask all the right questions. I can ask every right question. What do you want from Thrive? What's life like? What's the day like for you? And ask all the right questions. And I will think in my head that I've got the exact perfect mini experience formulated in my head for them. And then I will get them in a support chat and they open up more. They say more. And I'll be like, I just asked you all.
That third party validation is everything.
Yeah, I've got this mini thing packed up for you, and now I've got to unpack it because now you're telling this and that. But getting the right mini experience for that person, to me, is because you want it to be good. You want them to have a good experience. If I've got somebody that let's just say they're complaining about joint pain and they're itchy bitchy, they need some mood help, and I'm just sending them a basic classic pack, they're probably not going to get exactly out of it what I want them to get. They may not necessarily know exactly what they want to get out of it, but they may not get out of it what I feel like they need to get out of it, because I've omitted Black Label from their pack because, that's heavy on inflammation support, heavy on mood support, or I haven't thrown in some samples of Move Pro, which, by the way, I Move Pro'd my way into those VIP bonuses.
She sure did.
I sold a crap ton of Move Pro just because it helped my husband and I so much. So if I'm not giving the right things in their mini experiences, then it's not working the way that they want it to work. Why would they come back? Why would they order?
Let's go a little bit more into that. And that's something that, I've, learned over the years too. Yes, we have like our system of our Thrive 1, 2, 3. That's the foundation of Lavelle. That's what most of us started on. But as I've watched Jenny has taught me so much. Like, always remain a student in this. Always have your eyes open, your ears open to the new people that are coming into this. Hear their stories, see how they're interacting with their customers, see what they're doing, because Jenny has taught me so much in this last year on how to better take care of my customers. And so now I don't send this is what I personally do. Everybody works their businesses differently, but I personally don't send my minis from the back office because I want to be able to customize them, like Jenny said. And there's ways that we can do that. Like she said, we don't have sample packs of everything, but I bought these little Ziploc baggies that we just be putting like pills in, like Move Pro, or I do HGS samples too as well. So don't be afraid to do that, right? Like, you can that's the amazing thing about Thrive. It is completely customizable to people's experience and their needs and their goals and their wants, all of that. And I've really seen that through watching Jenny. I can't think of the word. Oh my gosh, I don't know what word I'm thinking of. Be with her customers, talk with her customers. I don't know what the word. Interact. Interact. There you go. Thank you. Interact with her customers and how much of a passion she has for wanting to help them. It's not just a sale to her. It's not just a number. It's not just what she's going to make next week on her paycheck. Every customer that she has, she is invested in. She is invested in their goals. She is invested in their results. She wants, so if they are not seeing the results that they want in that first month of thriving, we're going back to the drawing board and we're trying to figure out like what we can move around, what we can fix for them. So talk a little bit about that too. Like when, let's say a customer isn't happy and they say, I think I'm not going to order again next month. How are you going back to the drawing board? What kind of conversations do you have with them?
Well, the first thing I ask is, how are you taking your products? Are you doing the 3 steps the way we've suggested that you do the 3 steps? Are you skipping? Are you still down in a crap ton of coffee or energy drinks and sodas and stuff like that? 9 times out of 10, I find that they're still having those dueling caffeines in their systems. And then I will go into really trying to explain more about how when you've got 2 different kinds of caffeines going in your system and they're fighting each other, they're going to crash, and you're not going to know what crashed. You're not going to know what didn't work. If it was your energy drink that didn't work, or if it was your Thrive that didn't work. 9 times out of 10, it's been my experiences that it's been a caffeine issue. Like people just don't want to give it up. They really don't. They don't want to give it up, even though they don't need it anymore. They don't want to give it up. Creature comforts. But that's my first thing that I do. And then if by chance somebody says, no, I've omitted all of that, I don't necessarily always believe them when they tell me that. But if they tell me that, I'm like, okay, so let's just go. So this is what you're taking. This is what is supposed to be helping you with this and this. And then I'll go to our product list and I'm like, well, we've got this other product. Let's omit the shakes for you this month, and let's get some balance or something. Or you're needing, maybe they're not feeling the extra energy. I'm like, let's add a pack of Activate or some of the OE drinks or something like that. Let's put those in there. And I'll always have, a promo code or something that helps them, like if they want to add something extra to it, give them that promo code or some credits to help cover a little bit of it. Because since this is a payday Zoom, the lion's share of my paydays, I just transfer over into credits. The only thing I don't transfer to credits were my bonus payouts. Those went straight to the bank, and I'll tell you why I did that later. But I just find the things, and I'll find testimonies from other people. Okay, so I drank Activate Mango and it was amazing, and this is what it did. Or I did balance every night for a month, and this is what it's done with my bloat and all that stuff like that. And that's usually does the trick. Usually they're like, okay, well, I'll try one more month. They'll usually say, I'll try it for one more month. And if I can get it right that second month and just help them with that one thing that they're struggling with the most, they'll usually come back and order again.
Your customer retention has been out of this world because of the time and the care that you put into each person. And that's such just like a valuable lesson to learn right here, is that we have to make sure that we are letting people know like what's in it for them, not just like Thrive's done this for me, this is how I feel, I've earned this bonus. I've learned to change that around to, what if you could feel this way? Like, what if you could have relief from your aches and discomforts? What if you could have the energy to get through your day without drinking 10 cups of coffee? What if you could earn
I'm sorry, but I don't wait for them to tell me it's not working. I'm following up, like on day 1, 2, and 3, especially during their mini experience. I am following up with them every day. Once they order, I at least do it once a week, but it's usually more than that, because a lot of my customers are family, longtime friends, acquaintances. I have a couple of people on there that I don't know, but not very many. But I'm following up like legit. First thing in the mornings when I wake up, after I'm up and I've done my thriving and I'm ready to go and I'm pumped and I'm ready to go, that's the first thing I do every day is, who do I need to follow up with today? And I will get in there And it might just be a simple, hey, just checking in on you, how you doing today? Or if it's somebody that's brand spanking new, say, hey, are we thriving full force today yet? And stuff like that. And I get yeses and nos, and I'm like, well, what do you think we need to do different? And what do you not like? Sometimes it's they don't like the shake mix, they're not mixing it up, well. So we troubleshoot a lot. And so that follow up, I don't want them to think that I've just sold them a product and then I'm done with them.
Right. That
Because
communication has been key in your
right,
success here.
because I don't feel like I'm a salesperson. I feel like I'm a health and wellness person, and I just want you to feel good. Even if you back off on your order and order something else that's not as much as what you've been ordering, I just want you to feel good. I want you to do what's best for you, and it's worked for me.
I think that that's why we see a lot of your customers returning, because like that, I mean, I think the saying is like fortune in the follow up, but it's like the connection and the conversations that you're having with your customers are so meaningful. Somebody asked, how do you follow up with your customers' referrals? Do you add them on Facebook so it's easier to keep in touch? Okay, so talk a little bit about Thriving for Free and how you talk to your customers' referrals.
Okay, so first things first, I don't add anybody really on Facebook that's going to be a thriver. I don't do that because I've been told from the very, very beginning, too many thrivers on your Facebook. That's all you're going to see. That's all. People are only going to see thrivers on your Facebook, and I need non-thrivers to see what I'm doing. Not thrivers. I need non-thrivers because I need to reach out to these people, and thrivers already have it. They've already got it together. I love them. I want to follow them, but I don't necessarily want to be friends with them on Facebook. But when a customer has a referral, I always tell them when they're my customer, just talk about it. Just post on Facebook, tag me in it, if you want to. Send me somebody's name or tell me and say, hey, somebody wants to know, can you talk to them on Messenger? And then I'll find them and I'll talk to them on Messenger. I always refer people under the person that they became interested in. That way, that's their customer. I know for a fact that if they order, that's going to help them with their Thriving for Free. I don't ever put them under myself. Um, I learned that by accident when I first started. I was like, dang, I should have referred them under somebody else, and now it's too late. But I just listen to what my customer says about them first, because hey, I've got a friend and they're doing this or having this issues. I listen to what my customer is saying about their referral, and then I'll reach out to their referral, or maybe they'll connect with. Sometimes they'll give them my phone number because, like I said, most of my customers are friends and family and acquaintances. They kind of all have my phone number, so I'll get random phone calls and text messages from people say, "Hey, this is so and so. I've been watching Miss Gwen's story on Facebook, or I've been watching her in church, and I need some of whatever she's got going on." You know, I just listen to them, and I just make sure I'm putting them in the right spot. And because one of the things I promise people is don't worry about the cost, because I'm going to help you thrive for free. And if I don't refer people in the right spot, then they're not going to be thriving for free because I've made a mistake. And I have to generate most of those referrals, make those accounts myself, because I really hope there's not like a lot of elderly people watching right now, because I'm going to say this because it's just truth from my story. 95% of my customers are the elderly population, because I've got rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis tends to be something that plagues people later in life, and they resonate with that. Maybe they don't have RA, but they've got other issues that come along with age and aches and pains. So 95% of my customers don't know how to work internet and websites and stuff like that. They just don't. So I'm making accounts for people every day. So I have to be sure that I'm doing that in the right way. And I've had some struggles lately with a new website. So, but I hear they're working it out. So I hope they're getting it, kind of squared away where I can do that and keep doing it for them, because they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. I have to set blocks of time aside to be like, okay, I need to make some accounts today, and this is who they need to go. I've got notes. I have notepads and spirals all over the house. Like, okay, this is what you need to do today. So and so needs to be referred under so and so, and you need to get that done today, and all that good jazz like that. It's a process. It's a process.
And that's again where your successes come from, because all right, so let's just go through some of these points. Like, you are you take your Thrive experience and the way that it's changed your day-to-day life, the quality of your life, and you share it loudly and proudly. Like, you don't have any holdbacks about sharing truthfully, like, all about it, like even the hard parts. That's what we have
all
to,
of it.
that's what we have to share. That, like she shared in the beginning, like we were going to talk about poop, right? Like, we all know now, like, as thrivers, it Thrive helps you stay regular. Not everybody's going to be comfortable talking about poop, but as thrivers, we need to be talking about that, because there's people out there that need to poop, and we can help them with that. You know what I mean? So Jenny's always talking to people about poop, and she gets customers. So I'm just saying that we got to get out of our comfort zones. That's a big thing. Pooping is a big deal. Yes, Amanda.
It's a very big deal, especially when you can't go.
We love to poop on my team, so we're just gonna put that out there. So she is talking to her customers and her potentials and the people in her area. Like she said, these are most of her customers are people that she knows face to face. Like, she knows. I'm so sorry, all you.
Sorry, not sorry.
We gotta talk about it. You gotta talk about it. I'm sorry. I'm on here to encourage you to talk about it. So she is talking to people face to face, and I know that is something that a lot of us have to overcome. There goes my dang ring light. I knew it was going to happen at one point in time, but overcoming talking about it in public. That has been something, because I built my entire business all the way to 80K on social media. So now but that was during like COVID and the pandemic and lockdown and stuff. So now I'm having to step outside of my comfort zone and talk to people about it in person, and get out in my community and find new groups to hang out with and friends and stuff like that. So Jenny's showing the success that she's had with those in-person conversations and showing people what Thrive is and talking about it. She's had success with it. There's success there. So it's about stepping outside.
I prefer it that way.
Do what?
I prefer face to face.
Yeah, and you're good at it.
At all.
You're good at it. And she's like, she really cares. Like, I don't know if I've ever come across anybody else like within my organization that cares as much as Jenny does about her customers and about their experience. She puts so much time and dedication into making sure that they have exactly what they need and that they're getting the results that they want. And so that's, I mean, 4K on your own every month, just from returning customers and new customers, is absolutely incredible. So incredible. So, Thrive gave Jenny her life back, as she did. I have seen her throughout this year. Okay, so let's get to that. So let's talk about, you earn that 4K bonus, because I want you to share about this real quick. You earn that 4K bonus. So that was a $500 a month monthly payment. You made sure that you earned that every single month by helping customers thrive for free, having these conversations, getting organized. Like she said, she made sure she was like setting alarms or making sure that she was, referring who under whoever, creating accounts, the things that might seem tedious and that that's not like super fun to do, but it's necessary in building our business, right? If we want to see results, if we want to see those paychecks, if we want to see those bonus payments, whatever the case is, we got to do the hard stuff, the stuff that's not so fun. So with those bonus payments, and this last bonus payment, especially, like, what did that mean to you? What were you able to do?
Well, I'd like to touch on first, I'm a control freak, like big time control freak. I like things to be in my hands, that I know that I can shape and mold the way that I need to shape and mold it. So the going 4K practically on my own is because I am an extreme control freak. I always feel like in the back of my mind, if I don't do it on my own, then my success there is dependent upon somebody else, upon, whether or not I have this big, huge, and I don't have a big, huge team. I have 2 working promoters underneath me, and that I have more, but I have 2 working promoters that I have personally enrolled. I I don't want to say, well, I can't do it this month. I hope that they're going to pull in, and do a couple of things that help me, reach that rank. I can't do it. I can't get into that mindset. So I have to have control over that. That way, if I fail, it's because I failed. If I succeed, it's because I succeeded. So I wanted to throw that out there. Then, and it's fine for if nobody else is like that. That is absolutely fine. That's just that's my nature. But those bonus payouts. So I lied to my husband and I told him that I was done with bonus payouts. So he's never really known exactly how much money I've brought in with Thrive because I've just used it and paid bills or used it with credit. He and I don't really talk about it a lot because his paycheck has always been more than enough to cover from payday to payday. But we might have a little bit of extra, be like, where'd that money come from? I'm like, you don't need to know. You don't need to know where that money came from. But anyway, he knew I made the bonuses. He knew I was getting bonuses. And I lied to him and I told him that I was done, that I didn't have any more bonuses coming, and that I had received all my bonus payouts, but I didn't. I still had two more. I had two more bonuses coming, and I paid for our vacation that we just got back on from. I paid for that vacation. He was like, what do you mean? So I wanted to surprise him. Him and I have never been on a vacation on our own. We've gone and done little things for the weekend with the kids, when they were younger, but we've never been on a grown-up vacation ever. And I get to go do stuff with other people and with my friends and stuff all the time. And so I'm like, oh, Jenny, you're making me redo my makeup. Sorry. But I did. I was like, he deserves to be able to go and do something too, because I go all the time. I've been very fortunate. I have a husband who has been the sole provider of our family. I've had a couple of jobs here and there as needed or as wanted just to get out of the house and do something. But I'm a stay-at-home. I'm a stay-at-home mom and a stay-at-home wife. Even though my kids are grown, I'm still a stay-at-home. That's been our platform for years. That's the way he wants it. He's like, no, I want you home. I want you to be at home. So I've never had to work. So that's been fortunate for me in the Thrive world, that I can really focus on that. But so I've also had free time to go and do things, and he hasn't. So I was like, he deserves to get to go, to go and do something. He'd always wanted to go to Broken Bow and stay in a secluded cabin and fish and just be a country boy and hike and all that stuff. So I scheduled all of that. I did all of that. And I was like, hey, surprise, guess what we're doing? He's like, what? What do you mean? I'm like, we're going. So he was able to take some vacation days. We were able to go, and it was amazing. We only stayed for 3 days, but that was still, that was enough for us. And it felt really good to give him that, He's like, I thought you were done with bonus payouts. I'm like,
surprise.
Yeah.
That made my heart so happy when you were telling me that that's what you were getting ready to do. Because, a lot of people have this mindset that, to see success, you got to be making like a whole bunch of money every week, or making it to the top, or like that is success right there. Look at Jenny's story, like just in her physical, day-to-day life, and then what she was able to do with her VIP bonuses in the beginning, giving her husband that time off to be with his mother who was passing, and then just now being able to, they just got that a couple of days ago, right? Or something like that, from this vacation.
Late Sunday. We left Friday morning and got back late Sunday night. We vacationed it's just a 3-hour drive to where we went. So it wasn't like this big extravagant, but we're not big extravagant people. Right. So it was perfect for us.
Perfect. And see, that's what's relatable. We don't have to get on there today and share about payday and talk about like retiring from your 9 to 5, or, driving the luxury cars, or getting these massive bonuses, but like the relatable things where she said those VIP bonuses helped her sustain life for those 2 weeks while that was happening. And then a small vacation like this that meant the world to, they had never been on a vacation by themselves before, and they were able to do that because of this opportunity. Like, those are the relatable things that we should be sharing. Those are the people that we're going to be able to relate with and attract to this business. And if they go further than that, that's great. But I have watched Jenny over this last almost year transform her life in so many ways and help so many other transforms their lives with her customers, and how the conversations that she has with them and how intentional she is with helping them reach their goals. It has just been so inspiring to work with you. You have been such a light on this team. And I tell you all the time, I feel like she was just meant to be here on my team, because she has helped me so much in my life and in my spiritual journey as well. And Judy, I just think that you're absolutely incredible. And I kind of want to, because I know that, Amanda, are you oh wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Do you have any questions for Jenny?
Oh my gosh. Listen, I have literally been sitting here wiping my face like nonstop. And I'm literally making a post right now, because what you just shared on this entire Zoom, if that doesn't light a fire under somebody to get out there and help somebody else, like the fact that you were just a customer and you started thriving for free, and that like eliminated, oh, well, putting that cost, especially right around the holidays, you sat down on Thanksgiving, the fact that your day 7 was when you could, I'm not even going to tell that story, because I'm typing it and crying as I'm typing it. But let me tell you what, you went on and you kept on going on about life, and then on Thanksgiving not being able to open up the cans and stuff. I was just like, it was so powerful, you guys. And like literally, I hope, like, your story is so genuine and raw, and it takes me back to when I first started thriving again, why I went live and why I was like telling everybody, like, oh my gosh, this is the first day I actually wanted to get out of bed and get moving. And like, I had just come out of a very dark period of time, and it was just, that's why you're helping people, is because of where you're coming from. You're not, yes, of course, the extra money is helpful, but your mission, and I can tell by the way that Krista's explaining how you care about your customers, is literally just to help people. And because of that, it's growing your, like, it's helping your life. And just those little trips, they mean so much to your husband, because he's carried the weight. And so many people underestimate that weight. I carried the weight on my shoulders for most of my life in my previous marriage. And, I was always that strong one. And when I married my husband now, he always was the one who carried that weight. And I can't tell you how much it is just a relief for both of us to know that we can breathe, that like we can fall and not our whole worlds crumble upon us. So those little tiny gestures, like, they mean a lot. I know that trip was, I know you're like, oh, we're not big lavish people, it's just 3 hours away. No, it was huge. It was huge.
It was for us. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And I don't know, like, if there's just anything, Jenny, that you could tell people today, literally, because we're about ready to go into the holiday season, Thanksgiving and Christmas and so forth, what would you tell them? Because customer retention, everything that you're doing for your business is running a business. All right. Everything that you are doing for your business, the consistency on sharing, the follow up, the saying, hey, I'm the one who's in charge of me hitting it. That's kind of where I had to come into my mindset, because there were a lot of people that had left my team. And I said, you know what? If I fall because I quit. Right. So I was like, I've got to start leading the way, and I've got to start. And that's why I said I wanted to be in the top 10 PPA on my team every month. And I have been, and like, I'm telling you guys that because Jenny, I guarantee, gosh, I don't even know what your PPA is, but from all the referrals, it's probably way up there. Right. But literally, you guys just get out there and, like, Jenny, if you could just finish this off telling everybody a tip that you would give them about daily, literally what they should be doing going forward, because everything you've said is literally your business is going to be thriving. And man, I can't wait to see the momentum that you hit coming into the new year, because it's going to be outstanding. It is going to be outstanding, and you're truly, truly so deserving.
I would say just get out there and do it. We can talk about what we want to do or what we need to do and talk about it till we're blue in the face, but until we actually sit down and make a plan and stick to the plan, we can always alter our plan as needed. If something's not working, we can always, okay, I'm going to just scratch that off of my to-do list because I'm getting nothing, absolutely nothing out of that. But replace it. Don't just leave that spot blank. Replace it. Replace it with something else. The biggest thing that I hear is, I just don't have time. I'm too busy. Honey, we're all busy. I'm a stay-at-home mom and wife, but I am still very, very busy. I lead a full life. I've got a 75-year-old mother that I take care of, and I've got kids that we've got vehicle issues. We're running kids to their jobs and everything, trying to get everything done. We're all busy. If I have to get up, a few minutes earlier every morning or go to bed a few minutes later every evening and make sure I've knocked out those things that are on my list for today, that's consistency. I may have to change when I do it throughout the day, but it's still consistency. And it's nothing for me to be in the drive-through line picking up something for supper and I'm sitting on my phone and I'm doing some Thrive stuff and I'm following up or I'm reaching out. There's always pockets of time if you look for me, but you got to look for them. You got to look for them. You got to find them, because they're not going to just jump out into your face and say, hey, here I am, work some Thrive stuff today. It's not going to do that, because the universe, life in general, doesn't want you to do that stuff, because something's always going to come up. Something's always going to be in the way. I've had to learn to prioritize what can wait till later in life. So I can say, okay, I'm going to sit down at this time and I'm going to do this for Thrive. I'm going to do this for my business. I'm going to do this for my customers. And when I do that, I find a lot of stuff in my life that's like trivial. And I'm like, I don't even need to focus on that at all. At all. I can take that 30 minutes and I can put it here. And that's how I stay consistent, is just making sure that I find a spot every single day. And sometimes it's several spots throughout the day. Sometimes it's one big spot. I have RA in my hands. That's where it hurts the most. But I also have trigger. A lot of people don't know what trigger fingers are, but just about every single one of my fingers, will trigger finger. And the more I scroll and work on a phone, the worse those trigger fingers get. So I will,
Mm-hmm.
yep.
My daughter's had
almost every single one of mine do that. So I will be like, I'll message Krista and I'm like, okay, so I'm having a really bad trigger finger day today. And the more I'm on my phone, the worse my hands are getting. I have got to put my phone down and I got to stay off of it. And she's always super helpful. Okay, where do you need me? That's one of my other big tips, is lean on some other people who are in there with you, because everybody's willing to help, but they have to know that you need the help. They have to know that, hey, you've got to take a break.
What you just said right there is such a key. I mean, it's like kind of like relationships 101. I think most people relate it to their romantic relationships, but truly in business relationships as well. People can't know what you need unless you tell them. And that's one of the reasons why when somebody gets started with me, whether it's a customer or a promoter, I'm like, what can I do for you to make sure that you get what it is that you need? And maybe call that for being married for 20 years and ending up divorced. I don't know. But I learned that lesson. Like, I need to communicate so that I can fully understand, so I can help them better. Right. And Jenny, that was just so incredible. And the fact of you talking about, for you guys that don't know what trigger finger is. So I was doing this with my fingers. My daughter had to have surgery on her thumbs when she was a baby. And there's a tendon right here at the base of your fingers. So it kind of locks down like this, right? It's very, very painful. If anybody's had carpal tunnel or anything, it's kind of in the realms, but carpal tunnel is normally down in here more, but trigger thumb and fingers, it's like tight. And where Jenny has the RA, it's like on all of her joints. Like, I mean, I'm sure it affects other areas aside from your hands, it's your knees, your everything, you guys, all your joints. So the fact that you're getting some relief from that, that is such a powerful thing. And that's not making any claims. That's just truly like you being able to hold your husband's hand and being able to move. That's a huge factor. In fact, that's one of Paul Gravette's, testimonies, is how he was able to like stand up and his knees didn't hurt, anymore. For those that had never heard his story, it was, he was like in his 40s, and here it was, he was like, his knees were hurting him really badly. And then he was standing and he's like, oh, whoa, like that's what kind of, yep, he's on board.
My
But
husband does Move Pro and Black Label, and he was sneaking my products because he didn't want to try them. He was sneaking them. And then I realized one day that my products were getting low, and I'm like, what the heck is happening with my stuff? And he kind of got this little smirk on my face. It's like, are you using my stuff? He's like, yeah. And I was like, well, is it working? Well, something's working, and that's the only thing I've done different. I was like, okay, we will get you your own. Stay out of mine. But I wanted to say real quick before we're done about, leaning in on the people that are there to help us. I was promised before I hit that promoter button that this was a community. That was a promise that was made to me. And if I don't utilize that community when I need that community, then why do I even need to be a part of it? If I feel like I can do everything on my own, then I don't need you guys. And I can't do everything on my own. There are days I know I can't. So I am holding my community to that promise that they're going to be there. And I'm going to utilize anybody that I can because they're willing to help. And I think a lot of people don't realize how willing our uplines are to help. And somebody's always there. It may not be Allie, or it may not be Amanda, and it may not be Chrissy, but there's always somebody there that says, hey, I can step in and help you with this. And I'm holding my community to that promise.
Like Cliff just said the other day, mic drop.
Mic drop. Exactly.
Mic drop. Like,
Incredible.
I don't have nothing else to say to all that. You guys, like, literally, I think everybody's got like a whole, I don't know. They got to have some big aha moments coming out of this call today.
Just keep that in mind today, y'all, as you're going into this day and sharing about this opportunity and payday and these products. Keep in mind this story today and like how many ways Thrive has impacted Jenny's life on just these levels that we don't always think about or maybe hold ourselves back from talking about. Give yourself that room to grow in your confidence and in your belief system in these products and in this opportunity and in your community. And let's go have a kick-ass day and finish out this month super strong. We're gonna have an incredible end of year. And thank you for being here, Jenny. Thank you for sharing your story. It's always
My
such a pleasure. I'll never get tired of hearing you share. So thank you for being here with us. Y'all have a good day.
Happy payday.
Happy payday.
Bye.